see if I can make sure I can get it in focus in front of me so that it's in a little bit better focus. But we got a little bit of blue skies poking through, but I don't think it's going to last long if you look in front of us. But I won't be going east for long. I know I said it's a different way into town, but it is. But I always start out this way. Usually a lot of wobble. This road is shit. This road is completely shit. But, you know, overseas they're getting a lot of our taxpayer dollars. None of it's getting put to good use here. Hell, our post office has a leaky roof. So, you can see that tiny bit of blue and a bunch of gray. I'll find out if I get into town if I have any fog or not. This could be interesting. We don't get a lot of fog up here. We're on a plateau at the 2,000 foot level. But we do get a lot of semis, or some people call them lorries. Since there's apples. Holy crud monkeys, that was a big red-tailed hawk in that tree. It's pretty bad when the potholes are big enough that semi in front of us made a noise. Hopefully I can keep the signal when I go the other way. Ugh, yuck. There's another hawk in the tree up there to the right. That's just ugly, and I gotta go into it. I want to stay with my blue skies and my sunshine. It's warmer. Okay, truck. Please just go down the grade and don't turn right. That's all I ask. Wow, that's the third evergreen trailer I have seen. But yeah, y'all can see that black that's way out there for the skies. It's good to see the apples hopefully moving. And with a good price. This road should be relatively smooth. They redid this one. Just in time for harvest. Have it all torn up for harvest. How nice. Yeah. So. This is going south towards Cowiche. I was telling my oldest, who went with me 2 weeks ago on the shopping trip, in 2 weeks I put 97 miles on my car. Actually less than that when I got into it, because I've driven for about 2 miles. Got 95 miles on my car in 2 weeks. I don't get out of the house much. So. This road is fun when nobody's on it. Kind of cut those corners, maybe cross over the orange line, maybe not. At about 60. But we still have some snow up here. It snowed. Was it last week it snowed, I think? Next week it's supposed to be in the 40s, so I probably won't have much at all. Oh, a magpie. All the apple orchards out there. Let's say some prayers for those innocents in California. They didn't ask for these fires. They had a system that failed them. It's tragic. This, to the left, he always puts his irrigation line and Christmas lights every year. He takes them down in about April. Doesn't turn them on anymore, but it's too cold to go out. Sometimes they're frozen to the pipe, so they stay till about April. And we'll be coming up onto Highland High School, which the boys thought was hilarious when they realized Beavis and Butthead went to Highland High School. Hey, Don, how are you? Oh. This is what they call Cowiche, Washington. Not much of it at all. A few houses, a car wash, an espresso stand. Of course, it's Washington State. And lots of fruit warehouses. Okay, this government truck in front of me. Good, good, Don. Keep hanging in. Keep hanging in there. This is the grocery store over here to the right that I used to work at, and I still need to find out why in the hell, it looks like they fixed it already, why there was bullet holes in the window, in the door, I mean. Yeah, guys, sorry about the no live yesterday. My baby just, I thought I was going to be passed for a split second. They went into the center lane. I am not used to seeing this out here because we don't have a whole lot of traffic. He wasn't doing good. I brought him home. I figured, I'll keep an eye on him. I'll give him everything he needs. There's just me and hubby and, well, that kestrel had its dinner hanging from the wire. And I kicked myself for not leaving him there, but I figured he'd be happier at home and in a little tiny box. Yeah, that was tough. I'd only had him, he showed up in, I think, like late July. And I put out little things on, is anybody missing their cat? Because he was a wonderful cat. He followed you wherever you go. If you pulled into the driveway, he ran out to greet you, stare at your windshield till you come in the house, get out of the car. And he was just perfect looking tuxedo cat. And once I did not know cats could projectile vomit, but they can. I heard that and came running, and I saw the shape he's in. I called the vet. I canceled the live, and I got him there just in time to die on the table. And I think the combination of everything they did, they meant well, was just too much on the system. He said he was a stray who showed up, so we didn't know what he had. I'd kind of put off taking him to the vet because I needed to get my shit taken care of. Won't ever do that again. They gave him ivermectin. They sedated him, cleaned his ears. He had an infection. Took his jewels. And I think all of that was too much on his little system. After that throw up, I'm can almost guarantee, by the looks of him and the sound of him, he was having seizures. I know that sounds, because I've been around people who've had seizures and that breathing noises, and that's the exact same sound that cat had. But I don't have to worry about them fighting while I'm gone for surgery now. He wanted to play with the other cats, and my old ladies, the youngest is 7, none of them wanted to play. So it was just a hissing match, and he would just stare at him and they would hiss at him. So, yeah. This big old log cabin thing to the left with all the pine trees, that's our vet. They're great. They're fabulous people. Yeah, it was just timing. Yeah, they're wonderful folks. Let me put on my glasses. Like, go up the grade. Yeah, exactly, Don. He knew what it was like to be loved. But I think he'd been loved before, and maybe just got in someone's car and, ended up taking a ride he didn't plan on going to. Because the first time I let him in, because it was hot outside, I let him in and have some water. He knew exactly what the litter box was for and what the scratching post was for. I was like, yeah, this cat definitely belongs to someone. And I put up notices in the Facebook pages, and nobody claimed him. So I figured I was going to keep him. Now this is what they call the Some of You grade. In the old days, you'd lose your cell signal right here from one tower to the other. For people to be up there right now. A lot of people bike up on the hillside here to the left of me, and if they start biking, they'll run a bunch of ruts into the trails, and it's not good for the bikers once it dries out. What some people call West Valley, or part of the West Valley area. It's not a bad part of the area. Too many houses, too close for me. I want to get out of where we're at now, because too many people have moved into town. When I first moved into the town, there was and I'm not sure how they swung getting our house built, but a building moratorium, because the city sewer couldn't handle it. So there was about 1,000 people in our town, and that was the best place to raise 2 boys. You could pretty much raise them like I was, Gen X, and just have at it, come home for dinner, and you knew all you had to do was, maybe if you needed to look for them, look for their bikes. Town, was 6 blocks long and 4 blocks long and 6 blocks wide. They weren't hard to find. But God, last week I went down this road, this Summit View, and there was nobody in front of me. It was really, really strange. And there was like 1 car behind me. And I'm like, what? Why isn't there anybody out on the road? It's like, did I skip a timeline somewhere? Kind of reminded of driving during COVID. There's nobody on the road. Putting a lot of like townhouses and stuff out here that used to be orchards. Because you'll have all the newer buildings and then an old building, like this one to the left. I forget what kind of business they do. forget who. It might have been Planet Hermits at. Just keep your eye out. The cat distribution service will bring you another one soon enough. I'm like, I don't know if I'm ready for another one just yet. Not to mention the 18-pound tortie was not happy. She was the one that hissed at him the most. And he'd just stare at her. He'd basically antagonize her. Because But yet she was the one yesterday that when I came home without him, walking around the house looking for him, and then she was kind enough to throw up twice. It's like, thanks, cat, thanks. So I think I'll hold off until she passes. And she's 13, born in 12. Yeah, she'll be 13 this year before I even attempt to get another cat. Yeah, she's neurotic as... Now I know why her mother abandoned her at 2 days old behind the garage. Her mother just left her. There's a orange kitten that knows to scratch on the front door for food. Hey, best life at 60. I'm at 58. We're heading... Well, I'll probably go to Michael's first before I sign off of here. I added some little globes. I guess I go in-store, they're only a couple dollars. If I buy them online and have them shipped, they're like $4. I'm like, yeah, I'll just drive down there. We're in West Valley area of Yakima, Washington State. Things have changed since we moved up here. We moved to Yakima in 86. And the little apartment we started out with no longer exists. Tore them down about 2 years ago. This is the kindergarten where my oldest, started his kindergarten. He had to take special kindergarten for the first half of the day because he didn't have his fine motor skills. Yeah. They'd asked if I had a gaming system, and we had the Nintendo. I said, well, I put it up because I didn't want to ignore the baby. They said, get it back out, he needs it. Okay. And that's where they asked him if he knew, typical entrance into kindergarten questions, what shapes do you know? And, well, he didn't know his circles, squares, or triangles, but he knew his clovers, his horseshoes, his diamonds, and his stars, basically. And the realization, and I wish I could have seen my face when she's telling me this, and I had to have just the most bizarre expression on my face with the realization that, oh my God, he knows his Lucky Charms. So, yeah, didn't know his circles, squares, or triangles, but by God, he knew his Lucky Charm symbols. And now he has a skull with a leprechaun hat tattoo with the original Lucky Charms marshmallows that he grew up with. Hey Sandy, how are you? Gosh, I don't know if you guys can see, if it's not focused on my mirror. There's a red barn and a building up above it. That's called Congdon Castle. All these this land to the left is Congdon's Orchard. It was built like, was it 1930 or something? I think it's one of the 3 buildings that were built with the local rocks. Whee! Yeah, there's orchards on each end, and man, these trees on each side grow like weeds. Good Lord. I'd love to come by right after they cut it and get a cutting and soak it and get one to grow. I don't know what kind they are, but they grow fast. And they're really cool in the summer and the spring when they're all nice and green and you're going down this nice green corridor. It's an old housing. I think these houses went in the 90s, the ones over to the right. Some of them need some work. You can tell they came in the 90s. They still have antennas on top of their roofs. Good old Yakima Transit. That's not the one that's open. Yeah, this gas station's new. If this Chevron was a Techron, I need to be putting that into my car. But up everything to the right-hand side used to be orchard. I don't know if you can see to the left. Those are hop fields. I was really surprised when they put those in. Because for a while there wasn't a lot of money in hops. A lot of farmers took them out. To watch these go up again. Never run through a hop field. I don't care what anybody tells you. Don't ever do it. A full-grown hop field will slice the ever-living squat out of you. It's humid. It's humid like going into a full-grown cornfield. But the vines are scratchy. Yeah, we ran from my aunt one day. Snuck out of the house with a bottle of wine. And, so we ran to hid on a hop field in Mapton. And that's when we learned never ever run through a hop field. Oh, we'll be going past the Yakima Airport. I've only flown out of there a couple of times. I think the last time I flew out, because I don't fly. Slow down, kiss my ass. We had permission to go over Rainier, and that was stunning. That was in '96, going down to Phoenix for my brother's wedding. Oh, that was a view. I remember looking down on our way to Phoenix, and I'm like, what the hell is that hole in the ground? Why is there a big hole in the ground? And then I was like, well, shit, that's the Grand Canyon. So I've somewhat been to the Grand Canyon. I flew over it, got to see it. But that was... I felt pretty stupid once I realized I was looking at the Grand Canyon. Yeah, I'm going, duh, you're pretty high up in the air. It's going to look small. It did. It looked small. Oh, when we first moved up here, where's it at? This one. This quick building to the right with all the cars and the police car and everything. That was a machine shop in there. Worked for a couple years in there. Yeah, it was entertaining. You get a bunch of 20-year-olds. Oh no, it's this one. This building had the machine shop. A bunch of 20-year-olds. If you what do they call it? Was it LPS? It was similar, I think, to WD-40. And if you spray a line on it in the concrete and then you light it, it just goes up, and burns in the line wherever you sprayed it. Triumph Actuation that at one time used to be, what was it before this? GE, and then it was Smith's, And then it was Dowdy. And then before that, it was Dowdy Dakota. And before that, it was the Dakota Brothers. And here we are coming to a stop in front of our lovely little air terminal. I don't think the restaurant's open anymore. Pretty sure they're not. My youngest, I think he was about 14. The kid had a full beard in middle school. He grew up because he doesn't like his chubby cheeks. Yeah, he's doomed. He's got chubby cheeks. Well, we were up there for some function at the restaurant, and the waitress asked what drinks we want. And the youngest goes, "Well, I'll have a tea," because we were like the room right off the bar where people could be that weren't 21. And he's like, "Oh, I'll have a tea." And the waitress is writing down, "Okay, Long Island iced tea." And hubby had to step up and go, No. He's only 14. That's all." The waitress was stunned. He's 14? I mean, I always crack up when most of the Camaros you would see usually had the older people in them. Well, I'm sure people thought at first glance that my son was another old guy driving a Camaro, because he had his beard when it first came in was really, really cool. Had white, just 2 stripes of white, and then now it's fully white, well, in the front. So yeah, if you were to glance into the window of that Camaro, you would have thought an old guy was driving. But my birth father was damn near all gray in high school, so the gray is genetic. But it looks pretty cool. There's a hodgepodge of house types now that we're below 16th. I remember going to Airline Market. I don't know what it's like anymore. But there's some older houses, some newer houses, some overly crowded front yard houses, an elementary school, somewhere in here is access to Habitat for Humanity. Oh gosh, I went in there once, and there was this gorgeous wardrobe, way bigger than I would ever have room for. It was older, wood carved. Man. Hey, Brazzy. Oh, I miss our Jeep. It's still in the driveway. It's just got a cracked block. I think we're gonna have to have a what do they call it when they do an intercession with hubby of let it go. We're never gonna slow down and have time to fix it, as much as we both would like to. We just gotta cut our losses and let it go. It's a 99 Jeep Laredo Cherokee. Just bought 4 new mud and tires for that thing, and the block cracked. So we were done. they'll let him keep it. It runs. It just, we got to find new tires, and they're 14s, and finding 14 tires for size 14s for a passenger vehicle is a bitch. They don't make them anymore because we got a 73 El Camino, and I told them I don't give a shit. Get trailer tires. As long as it rolls, if we have an EMP, whether it be by the sun or whatever, no one's going to give a shit, but it'll run. So, getting down to the store areas of, this is considered, or I think to the right is Union Gap. This is where I got to go down to Michael's. Meredith's Furniture. A lot of our furniture came from that place. There's some good people in there. They're a family-owned business from God knows when. I know they've been there since before I was a teenager, because my bedroom set as a kid came from there. We got the Home Depot, the Homey Depot, and a Petco, and of course the Yakima Weed Company next to a liquor store. And, well, Burger King's hiring. Thanks for stopping by, Best. Yeah, I got about another 5 minutes or so, then I'm at Michael's, and I will let you all go. But yeah, I had to let the vet dispose of him. It was too cold to dig a hole in the backyard. And right now I'm saving every dime I got to go over to the west side for doctor's appointments. The cremation was $250. I just didn't have it. I mean, I've got it, but I got to go over here in a little over a week. I got to go back over for my pre-op. So I'm saving everything I got. So what do? Go to a craft store. But they're only just a couple dollars. I want to make and then I need to order some deep cast resin so it won't get so hot, so I can make like a little fish bowl thing. Hey, 7th. I just jumped on there for a little while. Well, for the drive-in. URM. That's where a lot of small grocery stores and coffee shops get their stuff, even some of their restaurant supplies. As a kid, my grandma, that's a Camaro body, about a 67. She would get the stuff for her little grocery store. And so I would always get the big food service size can of Campbell's clam chowder. Okay, everybody. Thanks for coming along with me for the ride. Didn't make it to Costco. Costco's next after this, but I gotta go to Michael's first. So I get those little glass things so I can probably finding a place to park. This is fun. So guys, I will catch you all Monday. I gotta work on laundry tomorrow, whether I like it or not. Where's my glasses so I can find out what Hades I'm doing? There's a pair. Alright guys, love you all. I will catch you on... they're on top of my head. No wonder I couldn't find them. I will catch you all on Monday. Have a good weekend, everybody. Stay safe. Love ya. I won't forget, even though you can't see me, all my love, Miss Dragon.